It is the final week of the Premier League season. It's been an incredible year and things still matter. 8 of these games we're predicting today depict something in the end of the Premier League table. Lots for grabs. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great, but a bit sad that this amazing season is finishing, Theo.
Yeah, a little bit of a shame.
Oh, you know what, Theo? We were roasting Ollie the American. He got 7 points. I got 6. You got 3 points, Theo. The guests are catching up. The scores are on the doors.
Let's try and get 20,000 likes for the last Premier League week predictions. We're probably going to stop it next year unless you hit that.
But you know what, Theo? I think I've let you down.
Why?
Well, you told me to get a guest from the world of football, and I just couldn't, Theo.
Really? That's such a shame.
I know. I couldn't get anyone from the Premier League, so
what
I
do you
looked towards the Indian Premier League. He's played for
that
Calcutta.
football? Is that even
He's
football?
played for Delhi and Bangalore. No, it's cricket. Chris Woakes.
Oh, wow.
Chris Woakes.
You haven't got
the
Chris
England
Woakes.
international.
Why
Theo.
would Chris Woakes care about you?
Theo, take a look at the screen.
Who are you,
right
Thogdad?
now.
Hi guys, Chris Woakes here. Thogdad. Thanks for having me on. What an absolute honour to be on the pair of yours predictions for the week. Really appreciate the offer. Also, guys, I understand you've both played for Montenegro cricket team, which is bizarre to be brutally honest. But maybe you should organise a net and see how good you really are. That'd be a good plan.
Chris, you want to see us in the nets anytime,
You
pal.
don't want to see this guy in the nets.
And the first game is Arsenal against Everton, 5th against 16th. This matters because Arsenal can maybe just sneak into a Champions League spot, Theo.
Yes, but they bottled it, haven't they?
They have.
The last few games, Tottenham winning. There's a 2-point gap now, and they need to rely on Tottenham losing to Norwich. I think they will beat Everton because it seemed like they were massively on the piss last night after beating Crystal Palace. What a comeback. 3-2. You may have taken that comeback of the season trophy from Tottenham too. Everton, the pressure's off for them. Their players are probably bevied up, but they may still get a result out of this.
All I can say, Theo, you were at the Everton game where they lost 3-2. Was that the best atmosphere in the Premier League?
They lost to Brentford, and that was still one of the best atmospheres I've seen in the Prem. Sky decided to play the Burnley Villa game over it. What are they doing? They missed an action-packed killer match at Goodison. But I think Arsenal will edge this, just because they're at home. They do need to bounce back a little bit. I'm going 2-1. It'll be a tight game.
And I'm going to agree with you. Arsenal to win 2-1.
Over to Woakesy.
Right, into predictions. Arsenal-Everton. For me, Arsenal, have they blew their chance of getting into the Champions League? Certainly looks that way. But Arsenal-Everton, obviously Everton in a bit of a dogfight down the bottom. I'm going to still go with an Arsenal win here. 2-0 Arsenal for me.
Brentford against Leeds United. It's 11th against 18th. Theo, another game that really matters now. Brentford, they've had a wonderful season, haven't they?
They've had a great season, and actually with Eriksen on recent form, I think only City and Liverpool have been better than them. If you look at form in the last 15-20 games, they're 4th, just behind Tottenham. I watched them against Everton, who were dominant when they had 11 men, but they really pounced on it when they got a red card. They've got Eriksen as that kind of tinker man. He plays it to the left, plays it to the right. He'll never lose the ball. And the way they attack with Ivan Toney linking into the midfield, it's incredible. I know this game matters everything to Leeds. They need to pick up points. They're on the same as Burnley. If they even get a draw, they can survive.
Well, I'll tell you what, Theo, last time round, Leeds got a very late equaliser from Stroik, and I don't think they've got the resources, Theo. I feel this is going to be a home win. Brentford's so good at the moment. I'm going for 2-1 to Brentford.
I was looking at Rafinha's form, Jack Harrison, Rodrigo. None of them are scoring goals recently. Joe Geldhart got a lovely assist to get the draw last time out. But if you're relying on players like him and not your kind of top level like Rafinha, he's bagged quite a few this season. Don't know why he's fallen off. I don't know if he's going to stay or not, but if they do get relegated, he's probably off. If he decides to turn up that day and Leeds get it together, then Marsh, the American, can keep Leeds United up. It will be limbs in the away end, won't it?
It will, Theo. You know what? Those limbs should be so amazing. Let's go to the game.
Ooh.
But I want to know, Theo, what do you think?
My prediction is 2-1 to Brentford.
It is, isn't it?
And it's a shame.
I
I want Leeds to get something out of this game. It will be incredible for the Premier League table. Look at that relegation battle. The Ever now out of it. It's Burnley or Leeds. And there's many different scores of these two games that can result in it. Leeds on goal difference are below Burnley. So they have to pick up points here. And yes, they could probably rely on Newcastle to do all right against Burnley because they've been unbelievable. But they need to focus on finding a way to stay scoring and not conceding. I know it sounds easier than it's done.
True, Theo. And over to Warwickshire. La la la.
Brentford versus Leeds. Leeds, how are they where they are in the division? Absolute joke, really. They thought they were out of it, didn't they, at one point, but firmly in it, and probably still my favourite as it stands to go down. Brentford just picked them 2-1 for me. 2-1 Brentford.
Brighton and Hove Albion in 10th against West Ham United in 7th. If West Ham win, they can possibly leapfrog Man United. But Brighton, how good are they at the moment?
Well, 1 point is enough to confirm Brighton's top half finish. They're at home to West Ham, and quite frankly, West Ham have had a good season too. Europa League run, just drew to Manchester City. At home, I thought it was brilliant to get 2-0 up. Real shame they couldn't hold on to that. Jared Bowen on fire. Both teams are showing character. They both should be very happy with themselves, but I'm going for a 1-1 draw.
Theo, we're agreeing on everything. I'm going 1-1 again, but a massive shout out to Fabianski at the weekend. 7 saves he made against Man City.
Yeah.
What a performance.
What a play.
Brighton, West Ham. Not much to play for here, is there? But a great season from Brighton. They've been really good. To finish in the top half is a great effort. And West Ham, what a year. What a job Dave Moyes is doing there. I'm going to go with tricky fixture that really. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Burnley of Lancashire against a Newcastle United of the North East. It's
Here we go.
17th against 12th, Theo. Can Burnley do it? They got a point last night, didn't they?
What I'm thinking is it's pressure off for the Geordies. Surely they're just going to go out there and smash it.
Theo, that's not the Geordie way.
Really?
I can't
Pressure's
call
off.
this one.
They've got nothing to worry about. And if you look at form, I mean, the job Eddie Howe's done is absolutely incredible. If we're basing it off the last 20 games, Newcastle could be going for Champions League next season. They are drawing on points with Chelsea, and above them is only 3 other teams. So, quite frankly, if they get a few signings in, Champions League for the Geordies next year. That's what I'm saying.
Huge game for Burnley. They've just got to do better than Leeds. They've got the same points. They've got a better goal difference, haven't they?
Yeah, they do. Burnley need to pick up a point because they'll beat Leeds on goal difference. Well, Leeds probably won't win Brentford away. If they do, it'll be unbelievable. So quite frankly, if Burnley can get a cheeky 1-0, it's over. But there's no more Sean Dyche. So they're not just going to do it 1-0. They'll probably concede to Newcastle, who, like I said, have been decent. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw. And I think that'll be enough to keep them up because I've predicted the Leeds to lose, unfortunately.
Wow, and I'm just going to agree with you again for the 4th time running. But I want to know what Chris Woakes, one of the best bowlers in the world, by the way. What do you think, Chris?
Another massive game at the foot of the table. Villa play Burnley tonight, actually, which I am going to. Hopefully, Villa obviously get all 3 points and get up that table as much as possible. But huge games for Burnley. Obviously, they take on Newcastle at the weekend. I'm going to go with... I just feel Burnley have got a knack of getting out of it, and I think they're going to get a result there. I'm going to go with 2-1 win for Burnley.
Chelsea against Watford, 3rd against 19th. This doesn't really matter. Chelsea only lost 6 times this season, and Watford only won 6 times this season.
It does matter because they need to win to ensure 3rd. And being 3rd in the Premier League will get you a decent chunk.
No, they've made it now. They're safe. Chelsea are 3rd place. So
Chilling
well
it.
done, Chelsea.
Yeah, well
Overall,
done.
it's not a bad season, is it?
It's not been great. They've bottled the finals to Liverpool twice. They won the Club World Cup in Dubai, which is decent, but no major trophy for them. It's been a tough one for Tuchel, a transition period, because you go from the highs of winning a Champions League and you coming in and you win it only 8 months into your managerial process at Chelsea Football Club, and then you can't keep that up with a big trophy this year. For a start of the season, it looked like they were in the Premier League title race, but then they slowly fell away. What do they need to do, Dad, to get back to that stage?
Well, I think they're a long way behind Liverpool and Man City at the moment. They just need to keep plugging away. Lukaku next season, I expect more. And
if
you know
he stays,
what? I think they're going to win this 3-0.
I think they'll win this 2-0. They've not been as comfortable as people would have imagined. Leicester got a 1-1 draw just at the bridge the other night. The real enjoyment of Chelsea and, that kind of momentum is off them. I think they will win this, but it's simply because Watford, they've got nothing to play for and they've probably just going to lose because they do every week. Ben Foster, it's his last game in a Watford shirt. What a gutting story that is. If that's his last Premier League game of his career, that guy's been a legend. The fact he's nearly 40 years old, or maybe over 40, and he's still playing in the top flight of English football, that geezer is some boy. He's got some good videos too, doesn't he?
Brilliant. Ben Foster, good luck with whatever you do next.
Watford already down. Chelsea, great side. I don't think we need to waffle on too much about this fixture, but I think Chelsea could do them 3-0 here. 3-0 Chelsea at home.
Crystal Palace in 13th against Manchester United in 6th. United will be pleased that this torrid season is coming to an end. But Crystal Palace, not a bad season, although they're going to finish below Brighton, most probably.
Don't think that they're not going to pick up points against Manchester United. And if they do, and they show some fight, well, Vieira showed that on the pitch last night against Everton. Potential top half finish if Vieira can pick up enough points and have that fight and bring it through to the next week. What would the Premier League do? Do you think they should punish him for What went down on the pitch?
Oh, come on. Let's move on. It's the end of the season. Give the man a break. And what a manager, by the way.
I actually think you got to blame the fan. He taunted him, and when there's a pitch invasion, you got a million opposition fans around you. It's very difficult to keep you calm if everyone's, it's a tense moment. You're in the middle of your job and you just lost 3-2 in a game you're 2-1 leading. United need the points to avoid a Conference League spot, because if West Ham win and United lose, they're getting Conference League. But I predicted a West Ham draw. I have a funny feeling at Selhurst Park they'll win 1-0. Palace.
That is an enormous shout. I reckon this will be 2-1 to Manchester United. But I've been so wrong about United all season.
You predicted them wins every week.
I don't know what I'm doing.
4-0 against Brighton, and what? You said 2-0? Oh, come on, Dad.
I know nothing. But Chris Woakes, I know that you know what's going to happen in this game.
Is he a United fan?
No, I'll come to that in a minute.
Ooh.
It's not a fixture that I'll be tuning into this weekend. There's not much to look at there. Is the Man United being pretty poor all year. New manager coming in next year. Let's hope, well, depending if you're a Man United fan or not, but let's hope that Man United kind of get somewhere near where they probably should be. Crystal Palace, Man United, 1-1 draw. Boring game.
Leicester City against Southampton, 9th against 15th. Leicester City have started to turn up very late in the season. Barnes, Maddison and Vardy got 8 goal contributions between them last week at Watford. What's going to happen here? Does it matter?
Fixed their season. Jamie Vardy's back scoring goals. He's my FPL captain. It's been an awful end to the season for Southampton.
Yeah.
One of the worst in the Premier League. I think only Norwich and one other side are as bad. They can't win games, so I'm going to predict a home win at the King Power Stadium. To wrap up, you know what? A rocky season for Brendan Rodgers, but a great way to end it.
That is true theory. Now, you know what? I'm going to agree with you. I've got to give a shout out to Nathan Redmond here. That goal against Liverpool was good. Bit of a deflection, but a very well worked goal. 2-0 to Leicester.
Thogdad loves Redmond. He's been watching him since he was in the Championship.
Southampton, they've been a little bit up and down as well, but again, not really much in this fixture, is there? But I'll go for a home win, 2-0 Leicester.
Liverpool in 2nd against Wolverhampton Wanderers in 8th. Now, Wolves, it's been a horrible end to the season. Liverpool can still win this title, can't they, Theo? They could still do a quadruple.
Forget the title. Yeah, quadruple. And they're only 2 games away from it. They kept their title dreams alive with a 2-1 win over Southampton. Brilliant.
Absolutely amazing, Theo, with that second string of theirs. That shows the depth of Liverpool Football Club. But I don't think the quadruple's going to happen. I think it might be a double, Theo.
Well, they need old favours from Felipe Coutinho, Danny Ings and manager Steven Gerrard to be able to win the Premier League title. Is it possible? We'll predict that game a little bit later on. But for me, I think this is a solid home smashing. Wolverhampton Wanderers have been playing half the team.
Yeah.
Like they've been playing as if half as good as they were a few months back. Don't know what's going on there. I'm going Liverpool 3. And that's a second team 3, probably. They're going to drop the big boys to the Champions League final. But Wolves 0.
And I'm going to go for Liverpool 2, Wolves 0.
But did I ask? See, that is a key question. Chris Woakes over to the Villa fan. So probably go big on Liverpool to win, won't he?
We need Liverpool, don't we, to get anywhere near Man City. We need that win for Liverpool to keep their quadruple alive. What a season that is, by the way. To even have a sniff of a quadruple is just an utter joke in the current climate of football. To be up there and doing that is amazing. So what a team to watch. I love watching Liverpool play. I think they'll beat Wolves, and then obviously it matters what happens down the road at Man City. But I'm going to go with a 3-1 Liverpool win.
Manchester City against Chris Woakes' beloved Aston Villa. This is 1st against 14th. This could be the game that decides the Premier League. What is going to happen?
Well,
there?
I was in a box with Federico Chiesa at Juventus Lazio.
You've not mentioned that there.
The real reason we got Chris Woakes on is because he's a Villa fan, and this week is massive for Villa because if they can pull off a dream result against City away, then they can help Liverpool win the title, but it's probably impossible. And this is why I mentioned Chiesa. He picked Stevie G over Lampard and Scholes. So my question for you today, Dad, who would you pick out of the 3?
Oh my goodness, Theo. I've always been a massive fan of Paul Scholes.
Paul Scholes?
Absolutely, mate. Absolute legend.
That's an unpopular opinion.
Theo, we're talking about City and you're talking about a United player. I can't believe
my bad.
it.
Okay, listen.
But surely Man City do not slip up here.
City to win and Haaland to walk out pre-match in their new Manchester City shirt. It's
Wow.
bound to happen. The fans will be rocking and then they'll probably go on to win, probably score 3 goals. I'll go 3-1 City and Haaland will be in the crowd loving it. And they're going to win the Premier League and everyone's going to be partying. Man
City are going to win 3-0. But I want to know, Chris Woakes, you actually played for Walsall under 14s.
Yeah.
He's one of these people, plays cricket for England, probably could have played football for England.
I could have played football for England.
Yeah, of course you could, lad.
Man City versus Aston Villa. Aston Villa, obviously my team, huge Villa fan. Can they do Liverpool a favour? Steven Gerrard going back to, well, not going back, but trying to help Liverpool out and do his old club a massive favour. I can't see Villa beating Man City. Can they hold on for a draw? I mean, who knows? Personally, I think Man City will run away and beat us, unfortunately. But is there a twist in the tail? So I'm going to go for, unfortunately for Villa and unfortunately for Liverpool, a 2-0 Man City win there.
Norwich versus Tottenham, the final game of the Premier League season. I have a low voice, I drink beer, and I'm a little bit overweight. Who am I?
Listen to him, that is quite shocking. 20th against 4th. Surely Spurs cannot mess it up at this stage of the season.
There's a word in the dictionary called Spursy.
Yeah, there is. Yeah.
And quite frankly, doesn't matter if it's Norwich. They once conceded 5 goals to Newcastle on the final day to allow Arsenal to go above them. There's always a chance for Tottenham to bottle it. But it's different under Antonio Conte, isn't it? They just seem to get the job done when it matters. The North London derby, last few weeks, 1-0 against Burnley. Yes, it's 1-0, but who cares? It's 3 points. And I think Tottenham are going to go out to Norwich and win 2-0. Confirmed top 4 Champions League nights at that beautiful stadium of theirs. It is nice, isn't it? And you know what? They've got more world-class players than Tottenham. They've got more of a chance in the Champions League run. Arteta's more of a long-term project. Conte's a short-term manager. They're getting the job done. And if Norwich win now, I'm a meme on TikTok.
Theo, how can you be this lively at 6 o'clock in the morning, pal?
I know, honestly, good question. I can't answer it.
I tell you what, I know Spurs can mess things up, whatever the situation, but not today. Not tomorrow, not Sunday, whenever the game is. It's going to be 2-0 to Spurs.
No, you're a mug. You're a mug.
2-0 to Spurs.
Because you've been copying me the whole video. I'm deleting this. I'm not doing this anymore. I've been No. Stop there, Dad. No. Stop there. I'm not filming. You've been copying me the whole video. You've been mugging me off. You think I'm a mug. You think I've got mug on my forehead.
You do, actually.
That's it. It's all kicking off, guys. I'm getting in the title for the extra views.
All you've got to do is beat the guest, the brilliant Chris Woakes. Thank you for coming along.
I love Woakesy. What a legend. But I tell you what, you mugged me off on the final Premier League. You've won this week's Premier League predictions. This year's Premier League predictions.
You know what I did? I took the ball to the corner and
I'm a sore loser. You know what? It's kicking off a little bit.
It's going to kick off right.
No, there's no trophy for you this year. You've copied me the whole year through. I'm a sore loser. I'm coming back next year to mug off Thogdad.
And to finish off, Norwich versus Spurs. Not much going on there other than Spurs. Can they clinch that 4th spot? I'm going to go for a Spurs 2-0 victory at Carrow Road to finish the fixtures. Obviously, with those fixtures and those results that I'm predicting, Liverpool won't get to lift the title. Man City will. And I believe Leeds have a good chance of going down. Guys, thanks for having me on. I hope I'm right with my predictions, other than maybe I'd like to see Villa get a win at the weekend. Cheers again, guys. Take care.
Thanks for joining us all season, and a massive thanks to Chris Woakes of England, Warwickshire, and loads of Indian Premier League and cricket teams.
The real winner is Thogdad.
Yeah, he is.
That's the real winner. I don't care what anyone says. Let's try and get 20,000 likes for the last Premier League week predictions. We're probably going to stop it next year unless you hit that.
I'm going off for a beer, even though it's 6:30 in the morning. See you all next season. Bye-bye.
See you all in a year. Wow.